The sin nature is the reason why. It's the reason why you can't figure out how to get victory in that area of your life. It's the reason why you're not able to do what it is that you know that you should be able to do. It's the reason why you're doing what you know that's not pleasing to God. It's the impulses that you feel, that the lusts and the desires that you can't control. Sexual immorality, you can't control what you're looking at on the internet. The sin nature is the reason why. It's why you go too far in your thoughts. And you begin to lust. And you begin to desire what's not yours. You begin to covet. If you got a problem with coveting, you're miserable because you don't have what you think you're supposed to have. You got a problem with coveting. The sin nature, that's the reason why. Oh, but I'm here to tell you tonight, the cross is the answer. The cross is the answer. And you know how much of the church is wandering around in this world today and they don't understand at all what to do with the sin nature? They're living a defeated life. Sure, they have blessings. Sure, they have good lives. But inside, in their heart, and in their personal walk with God is nothing but defeat. It's nothing but misery. Listen, when you're living that life, that's a miserable life. That's a miserable Christian experience. And God would not have it that be your life for the rest of your life. That's not what He wants for you. It's not just your cross to bear. That thing that's struggling, that thing that's hard for you to find victory, and that's not your cross to bear. He bore the cross for you. He dealt with that issue that's plaguing your life. He dealt with it at Calvary's cross. His blood poured out for that very issue that you're having in your life. He paid for it. Sin is like a king reigning in your heart and life. This is a powerful force. A force that you, within your own will and your own power, you can't handle. The Apostle Paul said in Romans chapter 7, the will is present with me, but how to perform that which I know I should do, I cannot find it. All right, so your willpower, however strong it may be, is not enough to deal with the power of sin. Willpower is not enough to deal with the power of sin. Does that mean that your willpower is not important at all? Absolutely not. The will of man is vital because the will of man should be enraged against sin. When you see sin in your heart and your life, your will should say, I don't want that there. But the problem is that when the will rises up, we couple it with the wrong program. Okay? When the will of man rises up against sin, we couple it with the wrong program. We start fasting. We start reading more. We start praying more. And all of a sudden, we find that sin is becoming more and more sinful. The more I fast, the more I pray, the more I read. Yet this thing in my life is just getting stronger and more powerful. It's because you've coupled it with the wrong program. You've coupled it with religion and legalism. Now, I would rather have someone fighting against sin than someone saying they don't care. I'll be honest with you. I would rather have someone who is fighting against sin, who is tired of living in a sinful environment, and tired of living the way that they've been living. They want victory. They're struggling to find it, because I would like to come along to that person who is exhausted from trying to live in victory and say, hey, brother, you don't have to do that anymore. Jesus finished it. Jesus Christ finished it at the cross of Calvary. You're ready to give up. You're hurting and you're broken. But let me tell you tonight, Jesus, He finished it. Jesus, He finished it. And by simple faith in what Jesus already accomplished, you don't have to labor anymore. Enter in to the rest of God. Enter into His provision. Enter into His power. Enter into His grace. Enter into His love.